All right, so today we're going to talk about vertical mill, and we're going to cover parts of the mill. So the important parts that we're going to be looking at. So the vertical mill is simple, like the way that works is very simple. We have the main motor up there, and the main motor connects to the spindle that's in here through a gearing system, right? And then so we're gonna have a change of gears here that we can go high, we can go low or neutral, and then we can go low, right? So when I'm in high, this would be the speed that I'm running, right? When I'm in low, let's go back there, then I would look at this gauge here. So just like in the lathe, this gear we only change once the machine is not running, right? But the speed, that means this lever that I can rotate here is going to change the speed. I can only move this one when the machine is running. So this one machine not running, this one machine is running. All right. Okay. So to make the spindle turn on, or to make the motor turn on, we can switch to forward, right? And then we have a spindle brake here for us to actually make the motor stop, right? That's this lever right here. Usually I don't use the spindle brake. I just wait for it to finish. But some people there just wanna make it stop faster. All right. So this is how we actually change speeds and change the gears. All right. We're not gonna talk about right now, but later on we're gonna talk about when we are in low, we have to cut in reverse. But save that for now. Just write it down, save that for now. All right, now let's see. Next day is this tool different than the other, or this machine different than the other one. For you to connect a cutting tool down here, let's look at the tools that I have here. So to use an end mill, I'll need a collet. To use a drill bit, I will need the chuck, or I need a tool that can actually connect straight to the drawbar. So if you see the tools, so like for example, this the flywheel, the chuck, or the collet, they all have a threaded hole on the back, right? Why is that? Because for the collet to be secured in there, you're gonna push the collet in, and at some point, I don't know if you can see here, see it goes up and down there. That's what I call, or what's called the drawbar. So the drawbar goes all the way through the head, and then when you screw into the tool or tool holder that's here, it's gonna pull it up, right? And then it's actually gonna lock into position based on the shape of the inside of this of the quill there, right? So so that's how we do it, right? So how do I tighten the drawbar? So for that, we're gonna use the wrench. So the wrench for that is here on the side. So you would reach up there and put your wrench there, and you can hold your tool from here on the bottom. Usually I would screw it in by hand all the way, and then only when I want to get it tight, I would use the wrench, right? And then you actually have to pull the brake at the same time as you turn the wrench there to get it tighter, right? So I'm not gonna do it because I only have one hand, the other one is holding the phone. All right, so this is how we're gonna get our tools in there. Hopefully you came to the um, lab so you have more information about that. Let's see other parts here. Another part that's very important is actually I can lower the quill or raise the quill using this lever. So I can pretty much use this tool as a drill press, as I can push this down, right? And then I can always limit how much I'm going to go down, right? By changing this stopper here, right? Another thing that I can do is uh, sometimes we can't raise the bed or the raise whatever is the work anymore. So one thing that we can do is we can lower the quill and then we can lock it so we don't have to work all the way up there, right? Sometimes this is an option to actually having to lowering and raise the bed all the time so it can go around the tool. However, whenever you change this, then now you know that you can't rely on the Z anymore. You would have to touch off to zero your Z, right? One of the Once I heard that like sometimes you want to work, let's say not on your top, because if for some reason your cutter or something gets stuck, you can still lift it. But if you're already working on the top, there's no more room for you to go up, right? So that's another part here. Let's see. So now um, we can actually move around all the different X's with the levers that we have here. So that's X, this is Y, and we have Z here, right? And we also, if we are not using one of the axes and we want to guarantee that that axis doesn't move, then we have a few stoppers that we can put it in, and then it's actually going to be um, harder to move. You know, sometimes you go and you reach for the wrong lever, and then at least it's going to protect you from actually moving something that you didn't want to move, right? Also, if I want to move, let's say 10 thousandths on this axis, sometimes if you don't have the 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 locks in place, when you move, you actually move too much. So then, if you put the lock in place, then at least uh, you can move it very slowly. All right. So these are the parts of the uh, vertical mill that are going to be important for your lab. And if you have questions, you can always ask. There's going to be the link for a document that has a lot more details and names, and so that one is more specific. Might have like a lot more things with names that we might use in the lab. Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye.